Good. Very good. We're going to get rolling very soon. I'm just waiting for a couple minutes for the last minute people jumping in. And then we go. So let me check to see. All right, this other things. Great. Yeah, we're on. Hang in there, everybody. We're going to start soon. I'm just waiting for the last minute people to jump in, and then we get it going. Almost there. Almost. Un momento. Okay, good. Well, welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra, broadcasting from Tulum, Mexico, the Caribbean. Nice having you all here. And I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. I had a lot of great ideas last night. In the middle of the night, I woke up and I was thinking about all the things I want to talk about. And then today, I forgot most of the things I wanted to talk about. So I got these ideas, but I don't have a specific thing. One of our participants, Hilde, asked me to talk about trusting God and fear. I mean, I know I've talked about it a few different times, but we can start from there and see where naturally this conversation is going to go. When you operate from this moment, I've discovered a lot of times when I'm teaching is, sometimes I have an idea what I want to talk about, the topic, and but things got a mind of their own. Like sometimes I'm able to go based on some notes and step by step go forward on some things I'm teaching, but a lot of times I can't do it. The energy is not there, and something I thought I'm going to talk about all of a sudden changes to something else because my juice goes towards something else. So, in my experience is most people who operate from here and now, they're very spontaneous and they go with the flow of what's happening. Of course, you can't always be like that because sometimes you need to have some sort of structure, some kind of guidelines or topics, and you got to go with that. Okay, let's just relax, take a deep breath, sink into this moment, sink into here, Those of you who are viewing this broadcast from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, uh, it's difficult for me to jump from one platform to another platform. So if you want to be connecting with me directly, you're very welcome to join us through the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. My website is zarathustra.tv, and you register. It's very simple. You just answer a few questions, and then we'll send you the code to our Zoom meeting, and you can come on this platform. We can see each other, and you can talk to me directly and ask me your questions. So I'll be more than happy to help you if I can. So let's just allow meditation come to us. And as you close your eyes or you're relaxing into allowing to meditation to happen, in the beginning, maybe you have a lot of thoughts and you get preoccupied by the things you need to do. And that's what most of the time happens with a lot of people. They close their eyes and they want to meditate, and all they think about is the chores and errands and stuff that they need to do. And then just let that happen. Let it happen. Let those thoughts come. Don't fight them. And let's see where it takes you. hang out in this moment without trying to force anything. Hmm. Slowly, slowly come back. Most of the work happens through silence. So if you are sitting there waiting for me or your teacher, any teacher, to talk, and your mind is going racing, when is he going to talk? Know that the talking is a way to point out in these teachings to that place. The words, the concepts, what I talk about, they're all pointing out to that place. But the real work happens in silence. It's the silence that creates the transformation. Otherwise, you can just sit on and listen to people all day long and take notes and try to follow their instructions. The teachings is about creating a situation um, in forcing you, hopefully, maybe at one point, excuse me, maybe at one point, you, just one moment, I need to get another. making it more comfortable. Okay, this is good. Is maybe at one point something happens and you recognize the witness. You recognize something's here and is aware of what comes and what goes. And what comes and what goes, sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't like it. Sometimes it's according to your taste and sometimes it's not. And when something comes that you don't like, you can call it an unfortunate event or suffering. And then it goes away. And then sometimes when something comes and you like, you are happy. We talked about earlier one of our friends, Hilde, who's been serving the 5D quantum healing and awareness for years and years, asked about the fear and the worry and trusting God. Hilda, do you want to bring up your concern and we can talk about it so everyone can hear it? Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool for me. You know, those of know that are knowing me know that I had arthritis for over 40 years. And you know, now I have a lot of replacements in my legs, 5 of them, and now I got some bacteria infection in a bone structure under my left foot. You know, and then fear came because I have a friend of mine that had the same illness. She had to amputate her leg under her left knee for some years ago. And no one had said that to me, you know, that I need to amputate, but I have to have a surgery, you know.
Right.
So they just had to check out if I have enough blood circulation in my leg, so it will heal after the surgery. So I don't know yet, but I really hope so. So now I've been mindfucking myself for 2 weeks.
Right. So okay, let me just make sure everybody, all the audience, they hear it. So is a possibility they may amputate your leg, and
that is just my worst case scenario then, you know.
Right. But you are, so what happened in past 2 weeks, there's a lot of thoughts coming, fear, doubts about this situation. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right?
Yeah,
right.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. So trusting existence, trusting God, universe, is something that we need to be in these situations to develop it. It's a process that only takes place as you are encountered with different challenges in your life, that you slowly develop this thing within yourself, that I trust that everything is going to be okay. So, and then something happens, everything goes okay. And then you're in another situation in your life. Let's say this one is life threatening or threatens having your leg cut off, but maybe you're in financial trouble, or maybe you're in emotional trouble, like you're heartbroken or your partner may leave you, something like that, or you may be kicked out of your place because you're broke and you don't know where you're going to live. So different, it's it's the same challenge, but it manifests in different looks, ways in our life. So again, it puts you in a situation that you have no choice but to trust life, that it's going to take care of you.
Yeah, I see that.
You're going to be taken care of. Now, this is something you just can't tell somebody and in 5 minutes they say yes, yes, and they get it. You have to be in situations that you have to demonstrate that trust to existence, that you have come to the macro consciousness, a higher level of consciousness of recognizing that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. But no matter what happens does not mean things are going according to what I want them to go. Is that whatever happens, I am going to be okay. And that's something it takes time to develop. Now, in the same token, it's natural that you have bursts of fear popping up like a lightning storm. All of a sudden, fear comes, doubt comes. And that is also a part of the process. It's natural. So when fear comes, you don't want to beat yourself up because you got afraid. That means you're not trusting. That means your faith is not strong enough. Or that means you haven't done the work. No. It's different. This fear that comes for you is different than the fear comes for another person who hasn't done the work and they have no awareness of these things. Because in that case, they're fully identified with their story. They haven't done the work. There's no awareness. Here we have awareness. And also there is the awareness that something, a presence, a being, an instrument, a unit we call you, human being, me, the unit. It's a unit. This unit is aware that fear is here, and it's very frightening, and it's very makes you contracted and wants to make you crazy, and you're aware of it. And you're also this same presence being that is here at times is aware that it's in fully trusting life and totally surrender. Something is aware of both. And that is who you are. You are aware that fear is here, and you're aware that trust is here. So what's common thing between these two states? What is in common with both of them? The fear and the trust is, in both cases, someone is aware of both of them. And we call that someone Hilde. Hilde is aware that there is fear, confusion, uncertainty, worry. And Hilde is aware that it's quiet and silent and there is trust. The one who's aware of both states is always free. What we want to do is we want to discover that one. The one who is aware. And its awareness doesn't change. It's the same awareness. Whether it's fear and worry or it's trust. The same awareness. It's still aware.
The observer then, huh?
Yes, the observer. That's why it takes back to you. Who is it that is aware that there is fear? And who is it that is aware that there is trust?
That's the observer.
Yeah. So, but when you bring the observer, you also want to make sure that your mind is not going to create an object of it. So, the I am, ever present, ever being the presence of I am. The I am is always the I am. It never changes. And in that recognition is where freedom comes. You realize that you are free because no matter what happens, it's not going to taint your awareness. It's not going to take I am away. I am remains I am. And I understand it takes time, guidance, being around your teacher, and the repetition of being reminded continuously to bring your attention back to that place. Sometimes for some people may happen very quickly or instantly. Sometimes it takes years to get to that place of recognizing it, that I am remains that. I'm not talking about I'm feeling great, I'm feeling bad. The fact that I'm aware of the ups and downs, that awareness doesn't change, remains constant and solid. And as you dive into that, this thing, whatever name you want to put to it, that is simply aware. It's been there when you were 5 years old. It's been there when you were 25 years old. And it's here when you're 45 years old and 55, 65, all the way to the end of your life. It's always here. And you are that. And as this is settling in, it takes time, it settles in, and you're identifying with this part of simply the truth of who you are. That you're just consciousness, you're vast consciousness. There's this presence that you are. And this gets identified with the body. It gets identified with a human. And it gets disidentified with it. It goes back into complete vastness of total bliss presence. And then it gets contracted and becomes, from macro, it comes to micro. And as you start to experience or recognize the macro, the super consciousness of yourself, what happens is you begin to see the events that are appearing in life. Events, they just keep appearing. Things start to happen, things happening in life. For example, let's say there's a big riot in Oslo, in Norway, and there's like 50,000 people are rioting and demonstrating against the government. For example, I mean, not in Norway, let's say in Thailand, in Iran, or in Paris, France, like some of those countries, they have a lot of freedom, allow people to come and demonstrate about workers' right, women's right, whatever it is, pro-abortion, against abortion. And there's a big riot, there's a big demonstration, and there's riot police. So there is police that is also present, that in case if it breaks out to a riot, in case if we become violent. As your consciousness starts to expand, you begin to see that there is no separation between the demonstrators, those are who demonstrating, and the police riot. It's all connected. They all come together in one package. There is no separation between either sides. They are connected to each other. You begin to see these connectedness. You start to realize that there is no separation. Nothing is separated from anything in this life. Everything is connected to everything else. And in this dance that you begin to realize that the freedom starts to take place. There's a freedom that comes of simply recognizing that nothing is outside of you, nothing is separated from you. It's your own self, one self. As you are diving into the macro vision, macro consciousness, super consciousness, a higher level of awareness, from being like this, you're just opening, you're expanding. An expansion happens. And in that, you start to see that you are a part of this book, this script, same as everybody else. They're all playing their role. They're all serving, they're all playing it, they're all reflecting back to each other, every human being, every event, the forces of dark, the forces of light, they're all one with each other. And there's no separation in it. You begin to start to notice that. I can speak about it all day long, every day. But if you're not starting to noticing it, it doesn't matter. It's just blah, blah, blah. And you can even memorize everything I say and everything you just repeat it like a parrot, but it still doesn't mean anything. You got to come to that understanding. And that's why we sit with our teachers. That's why it's important for satsang. It's important that we create the field, that we can enter into the field. And in the field you enter into, the teachings, the concepts, what's being explained is all pointing you in that direction. I'm not just directly talking to you, Hilda. I'm talking to the whole audience all over the world. So when I say you, I mean everyone. But that requires being quiet, requires that we learn to be quiet. Because if the mind is very active, you can hear, you can see, your vision is clogged. The more you become quiet, yeah, of course you hear other people's thoughts, or you know their desires or where they are, because you're quiet. You can hear things. It doesn't mean you participate in it, but you're aware. There's awareness, because everybody else is also yourself. The good events happen and the bad events happen in your life. They're all a part of a same dance that are happening, not independently. They're not separated. Events appearing and disappearing. Something happens and then it's past. Something else happens and then it's past. But something always rises and falls. And there is something here, a being, which notices these things, records it. But the problem is that we're noticing and recording it, and we're taking it personal. And then when things don't go the way we want them to go, we suffer. So the more you just fall into this macro vision, the more you're able to sit with your teacher and into the unified field of oneness, awareness, and the field that's created, the sphere, the bubble that the teacher creates, that brings you in, and it forces you to be silent. It forces you for your vision to turn inwards. And that which you're looking for, who you're looking for, God, oneness, love, something we're looking for, freedom. That which you're looking for is that which is looking. But we're looking for it outside in objects. I'm trying to find it. I go sit with this enlightened teacher because I want self-realization. I want God. I want to become one with God. So I spent a few years in this ashram in India and work on myself. And then I didn't find it. I didn't get it. And now I'm going to go to a different ashram and sit with another guru. And then I'm just going to go take some other courses, workshops, trying to find it. But the entire time, the one is trying to find it is the one. It doesn't know. It thinks it is somewhere I can go achieve it, but it's the one that is seeking. It's already itself. So what I want you to do is to one moment stop everything in your life and stop looking, stop trying to understand it, stop trying to get it. Everything stops. And then the I am, the cloud goes away, and in that moment, you realize the one is trying to find it is looking for itself. It's already here. It's already at. Did I get a little bit heavy? I think I went to channel 2 or channel 3. And it takes time. It takes time. And yeah, we do a lot of online work. And also at one point we have to sit together. We got to be in one space for a stronger transmission, for the transmission to take place. And it's like peeling the onion. Every time you peel one layer, every time we do the work, you go one step deeper, one step deeper. And then existence will create situations in your life that you're forced to practice what you've learned, and you do. You practice the teachings. It is a journey. It's got a lot of ups and downs and turns and twists. It's not an overnight thing. It takes time. And yeah, naturally you get frustrated. All kinds of things happen. So we're all going to do a meditation, send our sister Hilde healing, and let's hold her in light and combine our hearts and minds together as one mind, one heart, and wish her the best, wishing the forces of light to heal her leg. We don't want her to go through the process of amputation unless it's absolutely a necessity for her growth, spiritual growth, to a macro consciousness. We hope she doesn't have to necessarily go through that. So let's just take a few moments and concentrate on her leg healing up. Okay, beautiful. So, anybody has any questions for me or comments regarding what we talked about today? Feel free, unmute yourself or write something on
I
the
would
chat
just
bar.
say thank you. Thank you all. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Monica came up with the idea. Let's all send our sister Hilde healing energy. We've been together for a long time. It's almost a decade now. A little bit short from a decade, and you've been a supporter helping this movement, this message. And I'm very appreciative for everything you've done. You have been a true sister to me.
Thank you.
And I have a lot of brothers and sisters here. And, everybody's contributing in a different way. Some people help donate financially to keep this going. Some of you are advertising for us. Marie is always active on Facebook with her Polish connections. I mean, I get a lot of love from all of you in various ways, which obviously is needed because this is not a one-man show. For this to be effective and go somewhere, it also needs a lot of support. But just keep this in mind. This is very important. I mean, it's been a big message all these years. Everything that I'm speaking or any other teacher in Advaita realm, in the non-duality realm, is talking about to reach the supreme consciousness. Any kind of teachings is a concept. The moment it comes to words is not the truth. It's just pointing out to it, but it's not the actual deal. As the truth could not be spoken. That gets transmitted in silence. The power of a silent mind, the power of inner silence. There is tremendous power into it. The power of transformation. And it doesn't mean like when we're talking about silence and we work on ourselves, we're doing the work, you're going to go through phases that the mind is going crazy. A lot of thought starts coming up. But not to get confused silence with a quiet mind, not to get confused, okay? Pay attention to this part. Now I'm going to give you one of the gems, and pass it to you. Don't measure yourself based on how quiet your mind has become. Don't measure yourself by that. Because then you're mistaken and you're going to beat yourself up. Measure yourself by how much you are aware of a silent mind and a busy mind. The ability to be aware, the ability to witness and see When your mind is busy and driving you crazy, I want to make sure Shadi understands, gets this part. Shadi, this is for you. Okay? Listen to this part. It's not about you are trying to quiet the mind. You're working, you're being quiet. But the key is not about necessarily you get to a point that the mind is silent and there's no thoughts in it. The key is to recognize that which is aware of it is always silent. Heinz getting it. My brother Heinz. Hi. He knows what I'm talking about. Who is it that is aware that your mind is silent? Who is it that is aware that your mind is busy? That one is neither silent nor busy. It's always still, means it's always silent. Recognize that part, recognize that one, then you don't need to silence anything. That other part of mind becoming silent by keeping your attention on this part automatically comes. It presents itself. And then you find yourself in long patches of daytime that there is no thoughts. It's quiet, and you find yourself in some patches of time that the mind is very busy. Do you understand this? Because if you get that part, you're done. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have to work anymore. Or that doesn't mean if you fall in love with somebody and they leave you, you're not going to feel heartbroken or you're not going to have feelings. But nothing can stay very long. You can't be heartbroken for a long period of time. You can't be angry for a long period of time. You can't be lonely for a long period of time. Everything just appears, affects you, and disappears. You become free, not free from feelings. You have to feel all the way to the last moment of your death of the body. You are going to feel everything. Don't mistake an awakening, an enlightened being, a free being does not mean they're Superman and they're machine and they don't feel anything. Actually, you feel more than before. And people wondering why you can feel everything about them. You're not trying to sneak into someone's mind or psyche. You're just aware because you are quiet. You have discovered silence within yourself. So that's why I'm thinking that if we get together in Ore, I will have a workshop in a couple of months. I'm going to set it up that to prepare you. But when we get together in Sweden, I kind of, because I understand the mind. Oh, Zarathustra, teach me how to do healing, teach me shamanic healing, teach me psychic surgery. But I have to also tell you, like, I evolved and I grew out of it. It was like I went to another place because I realized, like, if I have a retreat, we're there for a week, 9 days. The mind wants to do things. Give me something to do. Teach me something. Which means you're postponing your awakening by what you always done in your life. Postponing your awakening. Give me something to do. I want an action. So I don't have to be quiet. I don't have to look inside myself. I don't have to look into my dark side and the light side. Give me something to do. I'm from the Western culture. We need to do. And I'm thinking, how can I serve you the most? Yeah, before it was fun. We were learning how to do healing. But who is healing? Who's the healer, really? There's only one healer. There's always been one healer on this in this planet. The ego would like to claim it that, oh, look at me, I am healing somebody. But there's only one healer. And there's only one to be healed. And they both are the same. They're not separated from each other. I invite you to join me to develop your vision to a macro consciousness, macro vision. Which you have already accepted my invitation because you show up at the academy every week. So you're on the path. You cannot get away. Your head is in the jaws of the tiger. As Ramana Maharishi, my spiritual grandfather, he pointed it out. The Bengali tiger, it's like, I don't know, 250 pounds. It's got a mouth this big. Your head is already, it means the tiger is eating you. It means the guru is already got you. You can't escape. In other words, you're fucked by God. God has already impregnated you by his seed of awakening. You're fucked by God and you're pregnant. That's a way of putting it. And the seed is growing inside you. The awakening is happening. The process is activated. It's just a matter of time. And I don't know where you're at exactly sometimes with some of my students, I have a feeling like where they are on their evolutionary span of awakening, where they're at. I mean, some of you will come and tell me, well, but I don't. And it doesn't matter. I don't have to know. The fact is that we're here and we're the lovers of the truth, and we keep showing up regardless of how many people are on this platform. They're there, they're not there. There's pandemic, there's no pandemic. Zarathustra shows up or he doesn't show up because, sometimes I'm flaky and I disappear. But you guys keep showing up every week. Consistently. That means you want it bad. You want the juice. So I'm compelled to help you as much as I can with whatever I know, which I don't claim I know. I don't know it all. Believe me. It's vast. But whatever I can, I will help you. And you're here. Make a mantra out of it. Think about this. The one I'm looking for, okay, just think. The one I'm looking for, what I'm looking for, is the one who's looking. I want you to take a moment. Don't wait for me to say something else. Just take a moment and grok. Understand this. Just take it. Take it in for a moment. What does this mean? The one you're looking for, the one you're looking for is the one who's looking. So let's take a moment, please, together, and let this sink in. Let's not move into the next thing. The one I'm looking for is the one who's looking. What does it mean? What does this mean? I want to give you a couple of clues. You're sitting here, you're looking, and you're just there. In a very simple and swift and easy way, very lazy also, turn your vision inwards and look inside. And see what you find. Take a look. What happens when you're in a deep meditation, deeply in silence? What happens? You may still hear some chatter of the mind, but something's sinking deep in the depth of the ocean. You're getting more quiet inside. Inner silence has nothing to do with mind's blah blah blah. The deeper you go into silence, the more you're aware of mind's chatter. Okay. So What did you find when you brought your attention inwards, when you looked inside? Anybody? What happened? You can unmute yourself and tell me.
I found God, the silence.
Say that again.
I found the silence and I found God. He's within me, you know?
Yeah. So you see how simple it is? Yeah, thank you for sharing, Kamala. Appreciate it. It's nice.
Can I share my experience?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have my voice? Okay. Actually, I don't know how, I cannot say it was silence that I felt. Do you have my voice? I'm Mona.
Oh, hi, Mona. Nice seeing you again. Nice connecting with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but I couldn't attend the, sessions, but I'm happy that I'm here now. And I just actually I felt everything, like I was in deep water and I could feel the waves, or I could feel the like the wind and everything. It wasn't like silence, but I could feel them, like it was different. I was like that fish in the sea. I felt like that, being that fish in the sea, or being something like this. It wasn't silence. Actually, I couldn't hear anything, but that was the feeling that I had when I went deep inside myself.
Okay. So what do you feel right now? Mona?
Now it was silence. Yeah, it was silence. It was like something, not any movement. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. As if there's a transmission taking place, as if something bigger has taken over you. And all of a sudden, it's quiet and it's blissful. So now we're all getting a taste of who we really are. This is who you really are. It's an ever expanding presence that tolerates the dark and the light, and it's beyond the dark and the light. It's that which the light and dark appear in. Nice to see you all. Let's just end this in silence and being quiet. Let's just kind of end it this way. Stay in this space.